or spacecraft or...
If you know someone who works at NASA, you know the budget crunch. Projects canceled, contractors chopped, travel cut. So when we were tipped about an internal agency document saying NASA is squandering some of the money it still has, we pounced. NASA auditors say the agency is squandering $24 million a year on nearly 1,000, quote, unneeded facilities. So much of what NASA owns was built in the 1960s during the Apollo era, and we've confirmed auditors found a whopping 33 major facilities, wind tunnels, test stands, and facilities once used for shuttles aren't being used and for which there are no plans to use in the future. Investigators in a memo to NASA leaders wrote, quote, they are retaining facilities the agency no longer needs and that this is depleting funds for revitalization efforts and that these facilities degrade and become obsolete and considerably more expensive to maintain.
You're seeing each of them fight to keep what they have, whether or not the taxpayer needs it.
NASA's internal auditors say even in a budget crisis, it's difficult for the agency to unload these old facilities, in part because politicians in Congress block efforts to do so, worried they'll get kicked back at home. And at Catch-22, NASA doesn't have the money to demolish the sites and clean them up. The agency declined our request for an on-camera interview, but an industry spokesman says not all these unused facilities are wasteful.
There are some NASA facilities where some of the capabilities they have are absolutely needed for our national defense. Hypersonic wind tunnel capabilities that NASA has that we need to maintain as a nation.
Where are these unused facilities? Well, NASA's auditors say several are at Kennedy Space Center. They're indefinitely mothballed with the end of the shuttle program. Still more in Nevada and in Alabama, including this test stand built and used in 1965 at Marshall Field. A spokesman here at NASA headquarters tells me they're conducting, quote, various studies to find ways to unload these unused facilities and consolidate, but he tells me federal law does not allow NASA to sell this stuff straight up for cash.